morning to you. Going to be a nice day today. Warm. Going to near 90. Morning, Spencer.
Good morning.
Craig Gregory is in studio now as we focus on Shelton, presented by the good folks at Our Community Credit Union. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
We had earlier this week the start of some chip sealing across the city of Shelton on some of the major roadways, and you're here to talk a little bit about that process and progress and how it's going. So for those who may be driving through that area or see on other roadways that chip sealing is happening, as it's going on all over the place right now. This seems like the week in the South Sound to do it. You were on a road that was a regularly asphalted road one day, and then the next day you're seeing a lot of little gravel and some fine aggregate there. Now, do you take away the top layer of asphalt, or do you add the rock to the top of the... Where does the old road go?
So the way it really works is they put down a pretty thick layer of emulsified asphalt. It's basically just oil. And then they come back over and put a layer of chipped rock on top of that. The reason you're seeing all that loose rock out there is you can't sweep it for about a day after that goes down.
So is the original road still there?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
All of the base layer and everything is still there. That's what really helps the overall structural integrity of the road. We leave that down, and then this is just a layer of 3/8 rock over oil, basically to seal up all the cracks, any imperfections that are allowing water down into the subgrade, which really deteriorates a road and causes failure.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to seal that up and make sure we get some more life out of that roadway before we would have to go in and reconstruct the entire roadway.
Sure.
Much cheaper way to maintain a roadway and not have to go back for a full reconstruction.
So then the aggregate that you see there, that doesn't stay around. The crews, they come and take it off and use it again, or what happens after kind of the time the oil and the rocks have firmed up or whatever?
So once it gets all firmed up, they'll come back and they'll do a couple rounds of sweeping and try to get all of that loose gravel off of there. It is a headache for a day or two. It is, I will be honest with you, it is not a fun situation out there. We've tried to reduce speeds out there, but yeah, for a couple days, that loose gravel just is all over everything and, sticks to tires and things like that. So not fun out there for a couple of days, but once they get it all swept up, they'll stockpile it. They'll pack it away with them. Usually you don't reuse it. I don't know what this contractor is planning on doing with it as far as discarding it, but they'll take everything and they've got some place that they'll dump it after it's all swept up. And once it's all swept up and you won't even notice that it was ever there before. It's just a couple days of a little bit of pain out there where you've got all that loose gravel that needs to be really compacted in, and they rely on not only pneumatic tired rollers, so rubber tired rollers out there to do the first kind of compaction, but then they leave it for the traffic to really compact it down for a day or so and let it really firm up before they try and sweep it.
I mean, I can think of a couple reasons why it's important to reduce your speeds in these zones. Obviously, it's a work zone, so there are people there.
Yes.
Two, if you're driving around, you don't want to kick up these little bits of rock onto other people's cars or your own cars, so that's an important thing.
Yeah, look out for yourself and look out for your neighbor too. Windshields, things like that, and that's why we have tried to reduce speeds out there.
Yeah. How's it been going?
Not bad. It's been good so far. Really moving traffic along has been the one headache that we've seen so far. There have been some pretty lengthy wait times. We've been trying to work with the contractor to keep traffic moving, but for the most part, everybody seems to be doing pretty good with it and avoiding the area as much as they can. So overall, it's been pretty good so far.
When's it going to wrap up? What are we looking like?
It should be early next week, if not sooner. They're on Wallace Neeland finishing up today, and then they did Shelton Springs Road yesterday from 13th out to the city limits. And then they'll finish up Wallace Neeland today, and then they'll move over to 13th Street from the new asphalt on the Downtown Connector project on B Street. all the way in front of the hospital, where they've got their construction going on right now, will be the final stage of that, and then they'll be finished up. The final piece of this, though, they'll come back after that roadway swept, and they'll actually put what's called a fog seal over the top of it. It's another layer of basically oil to seal everything down and really make it look like asphalt once again. So that'll be kind of the last piece of it here in the next few days that they'll be doing.
I used to, in another life, sell slurries and chip seal jobs and stuff, and that's the number one error people make. It's usually user error, driver error, going over too soon, too fast.
Yep.
Just be responsible out there. It really does look nice when done, though. Looks like $1 million.
Yeah, and then just the overall value of it for maintenance is just extremely important for us. We haven't done, in the city of Shelton, we haven't really used our transportation dollars to maintain what we've had in the past.
Yeah.
And it ends up costing us a lot more money than maintaining what we've got up front.
How long does it last?
We should get on a roadway like Wallace-Neyland, which is a very heavily used roadway. We should get another 5 to 7 years out of it before we have to do it again.
And you can just keep doing it, or is there a time where you would maybe go to the council and say, we've done this a few times now, we've been able to bank a couple extra bucks, maybe it's an opportunity for us to just re-asphalt the whole place?
That is exactly right. Yeah, it's usually 3 or 4 times that you can usually get out of it before your roadway the asphalt really starts to break down, and you have to go back in and do like a grind and overlay, not a full reconstruction where you're going down into the subgrade and redoing the rock and everything. Really, it's just a mill off a couple of inches of it at that point and repave it.
How thick are those roads? Because you have regular cars and trucks, but then semi-trucks and log trucks and all sorts of things driving on there.
Wallace-Neyland's actually got a couple of lifts on it so far, and it's in the neighborhood of about 6 inches thick of asphalt.
Wow.
So it's got a pretty good lift on it.
Big time event happening on next Friday, the 2nd, as the ribbon cutting for the Downtown Connector project is going to be completed.
We are so happy, along with the public, that project has come to an end, and
it looks great.
Thank you. We appreciate that, and yeah, we think it looks great. We put banners up last week and got some great feedback from the public on those. Just kind of dressed it up a little bit, and yeah, it's nice to have that one come to an end and get that one finished up. It's been about 1.5 years now.
Sure.
That we've been working on that one, so we're happy as well as everybody else getting that one finished up and getting it behind us.
So you cut the ribbon, who gets to be the first car to drive up there then?
Well, we've already had cars going through it.
Well, I know that, but after the ribbon's been cut.
Actually, I think before the ribbon was actually cut, George Blevins down there, Doc Blevins at the chiropractor at that intersection, he was great working with us and helped us through that. And I think when we first opened it up, he was the first one through it.
The very first one.
So who will be the first one through it after we cut the ribbon? I don't know. We might have to get one of you two down there to do
it. Take some pictures of the first car that goes up there.
Yeah.
So we've been going on extended walks in the morning, and we'll go past the roundabout and up Alder, and that just looks so nice with the LED lights there, and a lot wider. It's and everything, and it just looks really sharp.
Yeah.
So you guys have been working hard, and who'd have thought that huge winter storm and then the storm in March that we were getting that really put the slowdowns on some of those projects.
Yeah, it did. And I think the one thing just to take away from that one again, I think just to remember that was something that city staff and the council worked on so diligently and so hard. That project ended up being 100% grant funded. None of the TBD funds or local funds went into that. It was all through state grant funds to construct that entire project, which I think we, as the public maybe forgets how we pay for some of this stuff, but worked really hard on getting that 100% grant funded, and it just, for Shelton and the motoring public of Mason County, it's not just the Shelton residents that use that. It's all of Mason County that it's great to have that roadway finished up and look the way that it does.
Yeah, it's a good one. Public Works Director Craig Gregory, good to see you, and have a good time on next Friday. If we don't see you there at the ribbon cutting, it'll be a fun one for folks.
Well, we hope to see you to be the first one through it.
Well, maybe we'll have to make a point of that then. It's 8:40.